Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I am by Usamina Sida Tumano from ESS W3. So, now, let's talk about the alcohol use disorder and marital distress. So, before we start, let me share to you our learning objectives. First is we have to be able to know what is alcohol use disorder. The second one is to be able to know the causes of marital distress. Number 3 is to be able to know the case of Kirk and Michelle and their treatment of marital approach. So before we start, kung may as you can see, no, may apat tayong pictures, no? I supposedly dapat papasagot ko yan sa inyo, pero since video recording tayo, ay ako na yung sasagot. So as you can see, itong apat na ito is lahat sila ay may connection or connected sa ating topic ngayon. Regarding sa first picture, regarding sa mag-asawa o mag-partner na hindi sila okay. This is what we call marital distress. And second picture is ito na yung alcohol, no? Alcohol use disorder. Someone who are gumagamit or someone who are drinking alcohol. Okay. So, the topic is alcohol use disorder and marital distress. So, first, let us know about what is alcohol use disorder. Alcohol use disorder is a medical condition involving frequent or heavy alcohol use. Yes, no? Kung may kakilala man kayo na umiinom ng alcohol or hindi maganda yung flow ng pag-inom nila ng alcohol or sobra na, they can pwede sila mahulog sa alcohol use disorder. People with alcohol use disorder get stuck drinking even when it causes problems, emotional stress, and physical harm to themselves. Diba? So, sabi natin disorder kasi nga hindi nila mapigilan na uminom palagi ng alcohol. Ito ay nagiging sanhi ng pagkakaroon ng problema, emotional distress at iba pang mga physical na bagay na hindi makakabuti sa kanilang sarili. Yes, ang alcohol use disorder ay isang medical condition na kung saan naapektuhan nito ang ating utak, ang ating psychological treatments na kontrolin ito. So, sa alcohol disorder din, nabanggit dito, ay may tatlo tayong types. First, ang mild, moderate, and lastly is the severe. No? Yung sobra-sobrang pagkahilig ng alcohol, yung medyo tama, and yung last is severe is paminsan-minsan. Ganon. So, dito sa alcohol use disorder, hindi lang masasabi na disorder kung isang araw lang siya uminom. So, it takes time, or over a long period of time, So, maraming bagay, maraming types of disorder na pwede mahulog yung tao doon kung pag sobra na yung pag-iinom nila or naaabuso na sila ng alcohol. Okay, the next slide is how can drinking too much affect? Ano nga ba? Ano nga ba ang epekto sa atin ng pag-inom ng alcohol ng sobra-sobra? Actually sa Islam, sure ko lang, sa Islam, bawal ang pag-inom ng alcohol. Bawal na specific aya sa Quran na ang pag-inom ng alcohol ay pinagbabawal ng Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at pinamumuhian niya yung mga taong umiinom ng alcohol. Pero dito sa topic natin, secular. So, meaning to say, they are, hindi naman sa in-encourage na mag-inom ng alcohol, pero dito sa disorder na ito yung hindi kontrolado, pag-control ng isang tao sa pag-inom ng alcohol. So, ano ba yung epekto dito? First, bullet, drinking too much alcohol can damage your health. Yes. Bakit nga nadadamage your health? First, pag-inom ng alcohol, may mga may nicotine, may something ingredients na siyang makakasira sa lungs mo, or kung anumang systems or anumang parte sa katawan mo na pwedeng madamage ng alcohol. brain damage. Unang-una, brain damage, no? Sobra na nakaka-apekto ito dito sa tao. Tignan nyo, yung mga taong right after na makainom ng maraming alcohol, di ba nakakagawa sila ng masama? Hindi ba nagkakagawa sila ng masama na to the point na minsan nakaka-commit sila ng rape case, di ba? Ay napakadelikado. Yung sabi nga nila, pag may nakita kayong umiinom ng alcohol, mainam sa inyo ay iwasan ito kasi hindi natin alam kung ano yung sunod na gagawin niya. Sabi nga nila, kung may alak, may balak. Manood bigla hindalik. Okay, including dementia, despair, depression, and suicide. Lahat niyan ay epekto ng drinking too much. No? Lahat nun. So, connected sa ating brain. Parang nawawala sila sa kanilang sarili. Cancers. Yeah, cancer sa breast, sa liver, sa colon, and mouth. Lahat niya naapektuhan niya. Yung fetal alcohol syndrome, ito na yung exposed to alcohol before birth. Dito sa fetal alcohol syndrome, for instance, during the pregnant days ng kanyang nanay ay umiinom siya ng alcohol, pwede malaking possible na maapektuhan yung bata sa loob, no? So, accidents like falls and burns, okay. 'Di ba? Makita natin sa TV na kapag right after ng tao uminom ng maraming alcohol ay may times na nadidisgrasya sila, it's either sa motor or sa truck. So, napakadelikado nito. Liver problems, yes, nabanggit natin kanina, isa sa cancer, sa liver. So, blackouts, assaults din, and even homicide. At marami pang ibang negative effect ng drinking too much alcohol. Okay, so next is we have the frequent or heavy drinking can also lead to personal problems such as, first is money, the second one is personal relationships, the third one is the work. Bakit nga money? Bakit naapektuhan o naapektuhan ng ating pera sa pag-inom ng alcohol? Siyempre, hindi ka makakabili ng alcohol kung wala kang pera. No? Ano naman ang gagamitin mo? Manghihingi ka ng tao ng alcohol? Hindi. Wala sa panahon ngayon. Panahon ngayon, kailangan mong bumili para makainom ka ng alcohol. So, nakakasira siya, nakaka-epekto siya sa tao kasi imbis na imbis na gamitin yung pera sa mabuting bagay or makabili or pambayad sa bahay or sa anything bills, ay napupunta sa alcohol. 'Di ba may mga alcohol na sobrang imported, 'di ba? May mga alcohol na mamahalin talaga. Actually, 'di ba? So, imbis na gamitin sa tama, napunta sa alcohol na siyang nagiging problema naman ng isang tao. Personal relationships, 'di ba? Marami mamaya masasagot natin 'yan. Sige. So work, yes. Kasi 'di ba, hindi ka nakakapag-concentrate sa ginagawa mo kapag parang 'di ba kanina nabanggit natin yung damage sa brain. So kapag too much na yung alcohol sa atin, hindi tayo ayos, hindi nagpo-function ng mabuti yung pag-iisip natin, ng utak natin para magtrabaho. 'Di ba? So yung iba nag-a-absent na lang sa trabaho kasi nga hindi sila okay, nagkakasakit sila dahil sa alcohol. Sige. Next is we have the stages of alcohol use disorder. So, meron tayong stages, no? May tatlong stages. First is early alcohol use disorder. Second is mid-stage alcohol use disorder. And the third one is end-stage alcohol use disorder. Sa early alcohol use disorder, ditong stage na to, na kung saan pasikreto kang umiinom ng alcohol. Pwede, we don't know ha, pero sa iba, no, umiinom sila ng alcohol ng pasikreto. Mga estudyante na tumatago sa kanilang magulang or sino man dyan na umiinom ng napakarami na hindi nila sinasabi sa ibang tao. Kasi they want them na hindi malalaman ng ibang tao. Kasi nga, ayun, alam nilang hindi sila, mapapagalitan sila or something went wrong. Okay. Mid-stage, number 2 na tayo. For the word itself, mid-stage, no? Nasa gitna, kalagitnaan, na your alcohol use is now out of your control. Ito na yung sinasabi ko. Mahirap na uminom ng alcohol na hindi mo na namamalayan na sobra na palang madami ang naubos mo. now out of control. Hindi mo na kontrolado yung sarili mo kasi nga sobrang lasing na siyang nagko-cause ng problema sa everyday life mo. Sa work man, mapa-family, financially, physically, and mentally, and lahat. Diba? So, lastly is the age-stage alcohol use disorder. Drinking is now the main focus of your life. Sobra-sobra naman. Uy, very OA na. Kasi, sorry, I mean, kumbaga, parang pagising sa umaga, patulog sa gabi, sa lahat ng bagay, alcohol yung naiisip niya. Parang, mas nakikita niya yung sarili niya sa pag-inom ng alcohol. Na-obsess na siya sa alcohol. Desperado na siya sa pag-inom ng alcohol. Hanggang sa, ayun, to the point na nasira na yung kanyang buhay. Okay. So, now, let's proceed to the next topic. Marital distress. Marital, so on. So, dito, ano ba yung connection ng marital distress sa drinking alcohol or disorder? First is the common causes of marital distress is before tayo magsabi ng common causes is, alamin muna natin kung ano ba yung definition ng marital distress. Marital distress is one of the most frequently encountered and disturbing human problems. Everyone who is married experiences difficulties. Okay, so dito, no, sabi, most frequently encountered. Ito yung madalas na dahilan kung bakit maraming mag-asawa na naghihiwalay, nag-aaway, hindi nagkakaintindihan. Kasi dahil sa marital distress. Ay, hindi. Dahil sa, pwede maging dahilan ng, mamaya, malalaman natin kung ano yung causes. So, ito yung commonly human problems ng tao marital distress. Ano yung mga mag-asawa? Siyempre, pag single tayo, hindi tayo pasok dyan. Sige. Okay, next is money problems. Number 1 is causes ng marital distress. We have the money problems. Bakit nga ba problema ang pera ay causes ng marital distress ang pera? Kasi money problems are common cause of marital problems. Sa panahon ngayon, hindi ka mabubuhay kung wala kang pera. Kahit saan, kailangan mo ng pera. A different in opinion about saving and spending habits can create tension. Di ba may mga mag-partner na pinag-aawayan nila yung paggamit ng pera, kung saan ba mapupunta, kung paano ba hatiin, yung mga ganun. So, mga personal problems na, di ba? So, dapat ba si guy lang ba ang magbayad ng bills sa bahay kasi siya yung nagtatrabaho, or si girl lang ba kasi siya yung naghihirap sa pag-aalaga ng bata, or kahit sino man. So, diba, when person makes more money than other, they may start to feel resentful about their hours and put their in work. They may also start to think they have more rights to money they can spend however they want. If you experience money problems, it may be a good idea to consult with financial advisor. So, mainam sa atin, magpakonsulta po tayo sa financial advisor or kung sino man yung alam natin na marunong sa pag-manage ng pera para hindi tayo magka-problema, di ba? Yung sobrang paggastos natin ay kailangan natin kontrolin. No? Kailangan muna natin nang bumili ng asset bago ang probability. Ang asset, yan yung mga bagay na pwede magtubo pa ng pera or no, babalik pa yung pera, may possible na babalik pa ang pera. Pero sa probability, ito yung mga bagay na gusto lang natin. Yung mga kotse, mga damit, or anything, sapatos. Diba? So, lack of intimacy, napaka-importante sa isang mag-partner or mag-asawa ang pagkakaroon ng intimacy. Yung relationship niya dapat positibo, dapat consistent. Diba? Pag lack of intimacy, parang unti-unting nag-fade away. Kaya, ayun, nagkukos siya ng marital distress. Splitting up chores. Doon na yung pag-distribute ng household chores sa isang mag-partner o mag-asawa, 'di ba? Parang hindi balance, no? Tamad si guy, ang napapagod masyado si girl. So, parang naisip ni guy, like for instance lang ito, naisip ni girl na puro ako, 'di ba? trabaho ka din sa bahay. So, nag-aaway sila. Dapat ikaw yung magtrabaho ng ganyan, dapat ikaw yung gumawa ng ganyan, 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 ganyan. So, ang ending, kakaroon sila ng marital distress. Okay. Next one, number 4, change in appearance. Okay, ang pagka-gets ko dito, as we grow older, we change. Of course, things like gaining or losing weight, age. Sa change of appearance, di ba, sabi ko nga kanina, sa pagmamahal o sa isang relationship, kailangan yung consistency. Na kapag pumangit or hindi na masyado, or tumaba, pumayat, yung kasama natin, ay wag po sana tayo magbase doon, no? Kapag, kumbaga, hindi na natin gusto yung tao kasi dahil sa appearance na nakita natin, ay yan yung isang rin sa nagiging sanhi na marital distress. No, sana tulungan natin yung kasama natin, yung partner natin na mas maging maganda or malusog, 'di ba? Ang hirap naman isipin na parang mamahalin mo lang siya dahil sa ganda niya. No. That's not right. Uh, bonus na lang siguro kung gwapo, maganda yung um, ano natin, pero sana hindi tayo magbase doon. Sa puso pa rin. Okay, Laura B, di ba? You are holding someone to this unrealistic expectation. Sabi yung disappointment mo, nagkakaroon tayo ng arguments dahil sa pag-change ng appearance. Number 5, fertility struggles. Many couples assume when they are ready to have children, it will be an easy process. Unfortunately, some experience this challenge when they try to start a family. Health issues, genetics, changes in priorities, and more. Sometimes a baby doesn't come when how you want. Even though your plans for children have been different, there are options to discuss with your spouse. Adoption or into birth through fertility remain possible. Sometimes children are an option. Okay, nakakalungkot naman isipin na may mga magko-couple talaga na parang settle down sila pero unfortunately, some experience challenges when they start to a family, di ba? Parang, nung time na magjowa pa sila is okay naman, pero nung naging sila na, nag-asawa na silang dalawa, doon pumasok yung maraming problema sa bahay, sa bata, o mga priority sa lahat. Kaya, ayun, kakos talaga ito ng marital distress. Number 6, poor communication. Yeah. Kaya nga sabi ko, communication is the key. Mahirap sa isang, actually hindi lang sa relationship actually hindi lang relationship sa jowa or mag-asawa, pati sa magkaibigan sa family. Kailangan talagang komunikasyon. Komunikasyon. Every single day, kailangan mag-usap para maging open kayo sa isa't isa. Para ma-feel nyo yung pagmamahal ng bawat isa, kailangan nyo ng communication and consultation. Number 7, infidelity. It is not uncommon for mature relationship to be that tested spouse has been unfaithful. Yan, may punduaya niya. Char. Sige, dito, emotional affairs have been known to cause marital causes. No, infidelity, dapat talaga si guy or si girl. Actually, hindi lang si guy yung pwedeng mangloko. Pati yan girl, ngayon, nagloloko na rin. So, dapat, yan nga, paulit-ulit natin binabanggit na consistency, syempre, yung pagmamahal natin, paparamdam natin sa kanila na araw-araw ay mahalaga sila. So, sana maging faithful tayo sa relationship, no? At sa tao na yun. Number 8 is inconsistent religious belief. Yeah, kailangan natin, we should put God in the center of our love, in the center of our relationship. Na para mas maging matibay yung relationship natin, naniniwala ako, pag for the sake of Allah, yung kinakapitan nyo sa inyong relationship, sa inyong pagmamahalan, ay we believe na magtatagal talaga kayo. Kasi hindi nyo naman minamahal ang isa't isa dahil sa ganda, dahil sa pera. Minamahal nyo ang bawat isa dahil sa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Gusto nyo makamtan ang Jannatul Firdaus. Okay, so, ayun, consistent religion belief. Dapat okay kayo sa paniniwala, sama-sama kayo sa pagsamba. So, yun. Dapat hindi separated yung activities na ginagawa nyo. Religious activities. Number 9, experiencing trauma. Mahirap kasi sa mag-asawa na parang nagbibigay ka ng trauma dun sa partner mo. Which is, napaka very wrong. Kasi sa atin, sa Islam, dapat ang babae minamahal at hindi sinasaktan. Kapag nagagalit tayo, kapag hindi tayo okay, we should confront them. No? In a good way, of course. Huwag tayong gumawa ng bagay na ikakasama nila at magkukos ng trauma sa kanila. Kasi, wallahi, napakahirap nun. Yeah. At it turns to trauma sa isang tao. Number 10 is trust. Kapag nawala yung tiwala ng isang tao, ay mahirap na ito maibalik. Sabi natin na pinatawad ka na, pero kung wala pa dun yung trust, mahirap na talaga. So, kailangan maging faithful tayo, trusted tayo, no? Sana nga. So, we should trust each other. Okay, number 11 is too unpredictable. Although some people are confronted by their day in, day out routine, other people may simply get bored of their relationship has become too predictable. So, di ba? Yung iba gusto, ibang couple, gusto nila low-key lang, ganyan. Ayaw nilang being exposed sa public. So, ayun, no? So, kailangan na, kasi pag lack of spontaneous yung activity ng isang couple, mahirap na. So, nagkakos talaga siya ng marital distress. Okay. Sa case of Kurt. Sige, let's start. So, ano ba yung connection ng kaso ni Kurt? Okay. Kurt ba ito yung Kirk? I don't think so. Sige, Kirk was never moderate drinker. Ayan. Hindi siya nagiinom talaga ng marami or palagi. Nag-inom lang siya. He began drinking. Nag-start siya uminom when he was high school. At start consume large amounts of alcohol. So, in college, joined off-campus fraternity and he continued his high school drinking pattern only become more regular. Dahil paunti-unti na habang tumatagal, nasa point na siya ng high school life niya. Pero ganun pa rin yung routine, no? Pattern ng pag-iinom niya. And only it becomes more regular. Mas, kumbaga naging araw-araw na siya. Upon graduation, Kurt married Michelle. No? When he had been dating since high school. She was aware that Kurt drank heavily. Diba? May mga tao talaga na kahit nag-iinom yung partner nila ay tatanggapin pa rin nila. So, ayun, she expected his pattern would change. No? Kasi nga, mahal ni Michelle si Kurt, hindi niya maiwan-iwan. Kahit, ayun, diba? Kinasal na sila, pero ganun pa rin yung ugali ni Kurt. So, when he later took on responsibilities for family and career. Yun, ini-expect ni Michelle na sana, eventually, ay magbabago si Kurt. But, unfortunately, he obtained a good job in prestigious telecommunication corporation after graduating. Despite of drinking too much alcohol, ay maganda naman yung trabaho ni Kurt, no? Telecommunication siya corporation yung ginagampanan niya no, right after niya mag-graduate. So, after few months, so parang ang nangyayari, sobra-sobra na yung pag-inom niya. Kasi nasa average of 12 drinks daily. Ang mahal nun. Grabe yung gastos everyday. Naka 12, lata. Ano ba yun? Delata. Or ano ba? 12, anong tawag doon? Yung lalagyan? Yung bote. So, yeah, this pattern continued for the next 17 years. So habang hanggang sa tumanda na si Kurt, ay ganun pa rin yung routine niya sa pag-iinom ng alcohol. In spite of his age level of drinking, Kurt received positive work evaluation and promotion throughout 17 years. Nor did he any legal problems due to drinking. Wow! Kaya niyang pagsabay yung trabaho at pag-iinom niya ng araw-araw ng alcohol. Galing mo naman, Kurt. Kasi, napopromote pa rin siya. Maganda yung positive work, yung evaluation niya. So, ayan. Sige. Dito naman sa part naman is, In this slide, malalaman natin kung ano yung, oh, yes, syempre asawa ni Michelle Street, mababanggit dito yung awareness on the rise. For 8 years, Michelle tolerated her husband's drinking, not recognizing it as a problem. A man with drinking problem to her way of thinking was someone who couldn't hold a job, got into fights, stayed all night bars, and beat his wife while drinking. Yeah, 'di ba? Alam naman natin na kapag 'di ba may mga mag-aasawa na nag-aaway talaga sila dahil sa sobrang pag-inom um ng alcohol. Pero dito kay Michelle, hinahayaan na lang niya, hindi niya nire-recognize yung pag-inom ng alcohol ay problema. No? When Michelle worked as an office assistant, however, when she gave birth to their daughter, she quit her job to become a full-time stay-at-home mother. For years after that, their son was born. When their daughter entered the school full-time and their son was toddler, Michelle began to child care at home. 5 days a week of several preschoolers. However, after a while, she began a feel needed more adult contact. So, naapektuhan na dito habang tumatagal ay naapektuhan na si Michelle sa pag-inom ng kanyang asawa at she was unable to provide much wait lang, companionship or assistance in evening. So Michelle joining volunteer organization in her community. Before long, she was going every weeknight to attend one volunteering function and another. Kirk responded by withdrawing into history even more, 'di ba? Parang ang sakit naman sa part ng asawa, ikaw yung asawa pero parang mas naging priority yung pag-inom ng alcohol. So sad. Sige, alcoholism and marriage don't mix. Okay, so pinapatunayan dito sa slide na to, yung alcohol and marriage daw ay hindi siya maghahalo. At the age of 40, no, matanda na si Kirk. Uy, the picture success on the surface. The father of a 9-year-old daughter and 5-year-old son. Dalawa yung anak nila, yung 9 years old and 5 years old. He was vice president in charge of sales of his company. Earning a high salary, regular bonus, he was providing comfortably for his family. At the same time, Kirk was continuous his long-term patterns of having 12 drinks a day. Mostly scotch or rum along with few beers. He usually had his first drink of the day at lunch when he went to eat with colleagues or clients. To start off, the businessman would have a cup of scotch when waiting for his meal. When his food is arrived, he would order a couple of beers to go with the meal. So at least 2 days a week, Kirk had another work-related drinking opportunity. This was a private club where his company entered important clients. Alcohol took an edge of his society, loosening him and allowing him to mix freely. To look at least 3 things for him to reach this point and at least another 2 keep and feeling going for the rest of the party. Grabe. The incident. Dito na tayo sa part ng insidente. Ano ba yung nangyari? No? The Kurt and Michelle sat down one evening to do something paperwork for their taxes. It was 2 hours project, and the couple actually worked effectively together, chatting and even joking through the task. So they got the whole job done the night and both went to bed in a good humor. The next morning, si Kurt nagtanong sa kanyang asawa and she wanted to get together to do the taxes. No, i-continue nila yung ginawa nila. Michelle told Kurt that they had already done the taxes and he didn't believe her. Oh! Oh, sakit naman yun. Hindi ka paniniwala ng asawa mo. Sinabi dito ni Kurt, baba tayo para ipagpatuloy yung work. Pero sabi ni Michelle, tapos na yung work natin. So, hindi niniwala si Kurt. Michelle told Kurt that they had already done the taxes. Michelle gets the evidence, the paperwork for the night before. Michelle was right. He had done the taxes but he could not remember it. It was somebody else had done the whole thing for him. Because of this, Kurt decided that from then on, he would have no more than a couple of days in evening. Kasi nga, uminom si Kurt tong gabing yun, kaya hindi niya maalala na tapos na niya yung work nila sa taxes. After a few days, his determination broke down and he returned to his usual pattern of drinking. Bumalik naman si Kurt sa pag-iinom na maraming alcohol. After the incident, Michelle took to quizzing Kurt routinely about events from the day before. Okay? He could not recall details from the night before Michelle finally pursued his husband to seek professional help with drinking problems. She had seen advertisements describing the community clinic that specialized treating alcohol use disorder and related marital problems. Through the use of marital therapy, Kurt agrees to the want and employment. Mabuti naman, no? Pumayag naman si Kurt na pumunta sa professional na pwedeng makatulong sa kanya na mabago yung ginagawa niya, di ba? So, I guess, yun lamang po. Maraming salamat. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.